Greetings, beautiful souls. Welcome to 5D Life and to exploration of cosmic consciousness. Now, today we will focus on restoring your consciousness. Now, if you stick to the end, I will share with you a very simple exercise, how you can start restoring your consciousness, your cosmic consciousness and your earthly consciousness, which will help you in that embodiment of the fifth dimensional energy and 5D life, which is the life filled with love of your soul and the happiness of your mind, where the happy mind creates the happy reality, where you can and will create a reality that you desire to live in. So, why do we need to restore our consciousness? So, if you are bothered by any negative energies, as any star seeds are, any light workers, any way showers, anybody who's open at least a little bit to the energy world will start experiencing this heightened feeling of the empathy and feeling the negative energy of the other people on the environment. And they may happen that you may be attacked by the energies, you may be under the psychic attack, you may have spirit attachments, you may be bothered by some kind of these energies, entities, and the beings, or you may even realize that you have a spiritual implant and you seek help to release this implant. So if any of these apply to you about the spirit attachment and the negative energy, even the implants, I want you to go and look at my little previous video that I have made about the earthbound spirits and how to remove them, because literally that advice on uninviting the energy from your body, from your auric field, will apply to all that. Then you will learn that you have to embrace this beautiful sun energy and the God consciousness. And you start on this journey of repairment of your nervous system and repairment of your consciousness. So your consciousness, our consciousness, is a combination of that beautiful cosmic consciousness. That means your connection to memories of all lives that you had within the universe. As a starseed, you have incarnated prior being on the earth into different constellations. You have lived among the different civilizations. And most likely you remember your past life connected to the earthly life, like being in the Pleiades, being in the Orion or the Sirius, or another very popular constellations that we talk about. So in your cosmic consciousness, that is past life memories of how your life have been, what kind of the abilities and the qualities that you have, what is the common for the Syrians and what is the common for the Pleiadians. There's a little different in that ability. The same like on the earth. In some of the countries on the earth, they have a fast runners. Some countries on the earth have a better thinkers. Some countries on the earth had a more heart-centered people. So I want you to look at it exactly the same way, that each of these star nations has some kind of the quality that they learn to share with the others and teach one another, so we all can have those qualities. So all that is within your cosmic consciousness. And that's when you awaken, when you realize that you are different, when you realize that being the black sheep is actually the coolest thing ever, because there's so many white sheep, but with the black sheep in the family, you stand out and you can be really cool. You can make difference in the life of the others. And then we have earthly consciousness. So the earthly consciousness will be connected to our animal ego. Because, hey, in this lifetime, we incarnated in the animal. At least you are not a cat or the dog or the lion or the snake, but you are a human being. So embrace the human within you and realize that as humans have evolved from the primates. Thankfully, we don't have as much of a hairy body today, right? Let's make a fun out of it. We have evolved in a very highly thinking species. And we think of ourselves as this highest, the thinking species of the earth. Well, That's questionable. But let's embrace the human kind of you. Let's embrace that you are a beautiful being of the light being of your soul mind consciousness that came from the stars, from the cosmos, that carry the cosmic consciousness, and that have chosen, you are not punished, you have chosen this, that have chosen to incarnate in the human body. And you are doing it for the thousands and thousands of years. Why? Because you want to help the humanity in the evolution. You just forget and you get kind of trapped and you get caught up in the soul contracts that are just absolutely dysfunctioning. But we get trapped in this density of the human body. So the animal ego, the human ego, that's the daddy waiting for us here on the earth, has a memory of all the past lives on the earth, everything that you have ever done, that's happened to you, and you go all the way to the time when you first started to incarnating in the human body. So that earthly human ego consciousness can be traced somewhere in the time plus minus about the ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia. Because as a starseed, when you start remembering that really cool time in the beginning of the Egypt, to be among the what we would call the gods and goddesses, to be the priestess or somebody who go like, wow, I want to be that person again. If you start remembering your Atlantean time and Lemurian time, you are sourcing the cosmic consciousness that was kind of like buried and sprinkled here on the earth because you were still in your extraterrestrial body. Perhaps, heavily genetically modified, but it was still in that extraterrestrial content. Versus, when we started to incarnating in the human bodies, we had to go like, whoops, we have to make adjustments, right? Like human body, primate body has a very low functioning nervous system. And that creates problems to hold the cosmic consciousness. So I want you to think about this consciousness that we will be restoring. It is your human animal consciousness and it is your cosmic consciousness merged together. So you start with this soul ego connection until your ego is ready to transform in the beautiful mind. That is where the soul healing stays the journey. Soul healing is the beautiful healing where you tell the stories, what happened to you, where you have been, and how you can forgive, how you can accept, and so much on. But we'll start with that soul ego consciousness. So here's our beautiful soul having that divine, beautiful knowledge of our cosmic self. And here is this human animal who goes like, I am afraid. Like I have been designed to protect you. And I protect you by the fears because the fears help you survive in the earthly realm. If you are afraid of the snake, you are not going to pet the snake and the snake's not going to bite you and you are not going to die. We make it very simple. There are many stories and many varieties of it. So when we have that consciousness, our human ego holds us in the fear. The fear gets activated in our reptilian brain. There's a part of the reptilian in every single human body, whether you like it or not. And you can choose if it's gonna make you a better person, connect to the beings from the, let's say, Orion, and really assess the intelligent mind, or if it's gonna self-destruct you and you will be paranoid, afraid, and you will feel your fear and paranoia to all your environment and create that reality. I know the life is not perfect on the earth, but we do have a choice of what we are going to embrace. So if I want to have the higher consciousness, if I want to have my cosmic consciousness within this body, if I want to start a restorative journey, then I have to address all of this. Okay, this body is run on the three-dimensional program where ego runs the show, where ego likes to collect all the blood in your reptilian brain and hold you in the fight and flight mode, right? As like, I'm afraid, I'm gonna freeze, I'm gonna fight, or I'm gonna flight. Like, what is gonna happen? That's the only way how I will protect myself. I will either freeze, I will run, or I will fight. Those all actions are based on fear. On a fear that will help you to survive. So it is not an evil program. It is actually highly beneficial program to help us to survive. But once you know it, you says, okay, well, as a light being living in this body, I actually remember when I used to thrive. I remember when I gave the healings and people heal. I remember when I could feel the energy within the earth and build a temple on the most strategic places of the earth. I knew how to predict the future. I knew a lot of things. I knew how to communicate with the ascended beings or all the way down to the Pleiadians. But why I cannot work it with now today? Then on the top of it, you feel like, once you open to the energy and it happens, I would say probably 95% of the people who are open to energies, you feel attacked, you feel by the negative energies, you feel bothered by all this, heightened empathy because you feel all this negative energy. And God forbid you get spirit attachments or you realize you have some kind of the implant attachment. What do you have is the energy that stick to that fearful kind of the reality, auric field, vibration, your magnetic field, and that kind of cling to it and feeds off it. Think about those fishes in the aquarium, the cleaner fishes, when they suck on the glass and they just clean everything. That is all this negative energy. It clings to you. Or like a leeches, it literally attaches to you and it clings to you until leave of your energy and eventually gets bold and wants to actually direct your life together with the ego. It is the recipe for disaster that many of us have lived for quite a few decades, right? I mean, yeah, that's what happened. And so now, we cleanse ourselves, we have our routines, we are inviting this energy, and we do everything possible. And we, raise our vibrations and we hold ourselves through the meditation, that beautiful, loving place, and it is working. But then comes this little rebound of this, like, here it goes again. Okay, I know what to deal with it. Let me deal with it. Let me do that. It may take a few hours or a few days. I'm going to cleanse myself and I'm going to get back myself. I'm going to get my mojo back, right? Well, I do believe there's a missing step. In the book, Embodying Your Cosmic DNA, I have written about these 2 points that you should work with to stimulate your consciousness. So, the 1 point is in the end of your middle finger up here. It's the Percicardul 9, and it has a fancy Chinese name, right? That I don't remember. I want you to know that acupressure points is my hobby, not my occupation. So I don't know the particular name. Zhongchong, Pericardum 9, acupuncture point, has a powerful effect on restoring consciousness. Now, when I was reading the manual of acupuncture, which I occasionally go back and read too, because it's fascinating to look at the information from the thousands years back, from about 4,500 years back. And so it speaks, there are several functions of this point. So if you are in the acupuncture, you know them. If you are curious, Google it. But the one that really stood up to me is that it restores the consciousness, especially when it occurs when the spirit is dislodged from the heart. It's like when your soul is pushed away from the heart. why your soul will be pushed away from heart. It will be pushed away because the spirits and want to energy, and negative people want your energy, and your ego wants to runs the show, and your soul goes like, oh, I'm hyperventilating within this body. This is not good. And what do? You spend more time, hopefully, in the meditation and in the dream world, because it feels good. You kind of like leave that chaos of the body and you go in your dreamy world and you start to be a dreamer and you live in the dreams. And but what happened is you never manifest really your dreams in the reality. If you start working on them, something happen in your life that the people would either take advantage of you, or you make a bad choice, or it's just not the right time, and it happened. And so you go back, your soul is disappointed in a way. Even talk, here is the weird kind of the way your soul goes there and says, well, doesn't happen in this lifetime. We have many of them to go to manifest it. It's completely fine. But it has that like, I really wanted to do it now. I really want to help you. I really want to help you to fulfill your calling, your desires. And, because just the life happens, it's not happening for the soul and it goes back there. Now, for those starseeds who deal with this disappointments through the way of self-medicating with the alcohol or anything else, it is just something to numb yourself down and be in the place that makes you feel better, temporary. Now, neither of these things are working. The excessive time in the meditation, unless you figure it out how to be in that excessive time in the meditation and how to be a fully functioning at 200 or even more person through your life, for example, like transcendental meditation teaching, that's a different story. But if you are spending a lot of time in the dream world, if you rather sleep and dream, I've been there. So I know how it feels. Then to be in your physical life, then there's a problem. If you self-medicate with whatever it is that helps you to not feel the reality or disappointment of life, it is not working for you. So you start working with that pericardium 9. Now, pericardium, if you don't know, is a fancy word for the circulation, for your blood circulation within the body. Now, of course, so here is this point that is connected, that is actually Jing Well, that is very powerful point for your blood circulation. You're gonna use this point and you're gonna use it with your point about your eyebrows. So here in the arch of your eyebrow, you will somewhere feel in the middle of the eyebrow, there's a point that is called, let me get my little cheat sheet up here. That is called Yuyao. Yuyao. And the Yuyao is help to release the worry and this mental kind of the stagnation, and that is connected to the stress and worries. So here is something beautiful. Remember when I told you that your three-dimensional ego holds you in that fight, flight, freeze kind of the feeling back in that brain, like back here. It literally, collect all the blood up there. So especially when you are stressed out, so the blood is not going through your whole brain as it's supposed to. It is not oxygenating your frontal lobe, which is your connection to your mind, to your fifth dimensional mind. So it kind of like keeps you up there. So you can do your cleansing, you can do your meditation. Once you come back into the body, the animal activates and says, hey, sweetheart, that is really beautiful what you have done. This is the life on earth. This is the three-dimensional version of yourself that you are running. And we are afraid because fear keeps us alive. So we need to start retraining our body. So you have your pericardium 9 and you have your Yuyao point, which, if I remember it correctly, when I read it in the book, is not connected to any particular meridian. Like, it interacts with the I believe it's a Sanjiao, and the immunity system, I think, meridian. But we cannot say that it runs on this way of the pericardum or here. So in a way, it is the point out of the design pathway. I know I don't have a correct words as the acupuncture person, but there's that feeling you want to use. You don't need to know everything perfectly by the book. We have to learn to listen the smartness and intuition of your body. So if you take your middle finger and you start practicing the pressing in the middle of your eyebrow, you can play with it, probably gonna be some sore points. And you can lie on the bed, prop your hands on the pillow. That's what I like to do because, if you sit like that for a little bit, you go like, my shoulder is heavy. I'm falling down. It doesn't feel great. So we want to feel great when we do that. So we want to lie down. And I usually put my alarm for about 5 minutes. And I lie down there and I hold my eyebrows and I think I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe, be me. I am safe to remember my Pleiadian self. I am safe. You will start feeling this release. What is happening? Our body has electromagnetic circuit. Your blood circulation point, literally, that is written by the ancient emperors that has a power to restore consciousness. Literally call that spirit, soul, mind consciousness into the body is calling the blood from the back of your brain, literally saying, hey, it is safe. You don't have to worry. You can let go of your mental distress. You are safe. It's safe to get that circulation going in the frontal lobe. So every time you feel you are stressed out, you have anxiety, every time you felt like you had to cleanse yourself from this negative energy, do yourself a favor, restore your consciousness. Now, the beauty is you don't have to do any mental work with this. You don't have to do any search for the roots of your problem. You just have to sit down or lie down in a comfortable place with your middle fingers, kind of funny, right? Hold your eyebrow points and I'm safe. And you will feel the release. You will feel the blood oxygenating there, and you will teach your body, the three-dimensional vessel, that is safe to hold this new consciousness, while your old consciousness, but for the body is the new energy, that is safe to hold it in the body. It is safe to hold your cosmic consciousness. It is safe to be you. So your earthly consciousness is literally learning, your ego is learning like, oh, I'm just a younger version of the mind. I can grow up and I can be this mind. It's like, think about your hands go somewhere, by your thighs is connected. I always think that the lower part of the body is more connected to the ego and upper higher part body is more connected to the mind once we figured it out. And you will, sort of like, here I am working hard on the earth and I connect to that soul mind consciousness and I'm safe. The energy will go naturally. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to call for anything. You just have to allow yourself to be yourself. It is safe to be me. It is safe to be me. It is safe to be me. It is safe. And so by doing your meditations, where you really focus on, here I meditate, but I want to integrate in this world because that's what you are here. You are here to help humanity to evolve, and humanity needs you. I mean, this world is in this beautiful point of the changes, and we need to really embrace that fifth dimensional consciousness by ourselves. Because the fourth dimensional consciousness is the collective consciousness run by the fear. If we today come up with some magical way of to link our brains to the artificial intelligence, what do you think is going to connect you to? The collective consciousness of the current humanity, which is based on the fear. So let's do ourselves a favor. Let's connect ourselves. Let's restore our consciousness to that fifth dimensional reality, which is I'm living with the love of my soul and the happiness of my mind, and I'm exploring this cosmic consciousness here on the earth because it's everywhere. I made a few videos to you, and I cannot wait to make and more of them, because it is fascinating when you start observing it and says, wow, we left for ourselves so much of knowledge here. The same like the acupuncture point, it wasn't that like, oh my, I let's explore this. It is the cosmic consciousness. It is a cosmic consciousness of extraterrestrial beings, of the ancient ancestors who suddenly were like, oops, our machines are not working. The sophisticated surgery is not really available at the point of now. Let's go back to the primitive way of the healing of the body through the points. As primitive as it is the most sophisticated. It is phenomenal what you can do with your body by pressing particular points. It is, I would say that, it needs to be really brought up more to the world and to be understood. So in the end, I have written in I believe it's a chapter 12, in the Embody Cosmic Consciousness about these 2 points. Now, embodying the cosmic consciousness, this chapter is called Divine Marriage of Soul, Mind, Consciousness. And that's what it is. When you understand the stories in your chakras, when you going and start understanding your organs and meridian pathways and how it's all connected to our star families, then you realize that you can go into the nervous system and you can start reprogramming this body. So connect to your cosmic consciousness in these days is kind of easy. It's not that hard or difficult. However, to bring and sustain that cosmic consciousness in your body, now that's a challenge still. And that is how we need to help each other to prepare our body. And this particular sharing is how we restore our consciousness within this body, so our body can start utilizing this wonderful knowledge and the wisdom and manifest into physicality, manifest the life that you would like to have. Now, the last part, if you are still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you wonder, why after the spirit attachments you need to do this, or after you cleanse yourself from negative energies, think about, it's like you realize that your body is like this field of this aquarium, and this, sticky fishes sticks to you. Just look at it as a very simple kind of the scenario. Then you need to put something on you, some protection. You have to figure it out the way how you will not attract this kind of the beings, how you will not attract this kind of the energy. That goes through the raising your vibration and sustaining that vibrations within the body. So that means that if I start restoring my consciousness, I, don't have to be actually wrapped up with a golden light. I don't have to have a gazillion crystals to protect me. My auric field change. Everything, that magnetic field inside of me start build a different auric field who says, well, I'm not afraid. I'm not thriving from the fears. And they go like, oops, we don't stick to this. Like, this is not working for us. Like, if I'm gonna look and there's a 5 to 10% of the humanity that is not thriving from the fears at this time, and then there's a 90 that it does, all you can eat buffet up there. So let's work on it, and that what will help you. That's what, you go through this, like, okay, I passed this field and I finally can fully start embracing who I am. Everybody has to pass this field. So this negative energy, I would say, happen, I believe, every single one of us. Now, if I may be very wrong, and there are several of those who don't have to go through it, good for you. But this video is for all those who email me and asking me, what do I do? So after you remove the negative energy, after you realize that we all walking in this negative energy and we all have been at one point or the other a menu on the all-you-can-eat buffet, then says, all right, I'm done. I'm going to connect to the God's consciousness through the sun. I'm going to start restoring my consciousness, and I will find and define the way of life I would like to live. So I hope this helps you. If you enjoy my sharings, please click the like, subscribe, and share it with others, because it helps to share this with others, so we can create a life that we would like to have. I wish you love and light from my heart to yours. Until next time.